Online work. It's the US that tolerates such nonsense. Over here in Nigeria, online what? Who has data to do online work? I know there's 5G data, everything. If even if we do have the data and we do want to do it, it's not going to be productive because productivity requires physical presence to me. That's how you brainstorm with people, not staring at a screen and thinking about what you're going to watch next.
And we've ended weaponized government where, as an example, a sitting president is allowed to viciously prosecute his political opponent, like me. How did that work out? Not too good. Not too good. And I have stopped all government censorship and brought back free speech in America. It's back.
It's not completely back because I still have to censor this video a lot to be able to post it on YouTube, but it is coming back. I think little by little it is coming back.
And 2 days ago, I signed an order making English the official language of the United States of America.
It's strange to hear this because if you like me, you think that English was already the official language. Because I'm even surprised that it needs to be signed, but I think maybe some newcons were trying to make it Spanish or trying to. I don't know. I don't live in the US, so let's move on.
I renamed the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America.
Well, I like this just because of I like Trump. Whatever you want to do with that, it's a name, and I want you to succeed in whatever you're doing.
And likewise, I renamed for a great president, William McKinley, Mount McKinley again.
I have no idea about
Beautiful
that.
Alaska. We love Alaska.
Need some water. Let me get some.
We've ended the tyranny of so-called diversity, equity, and inclusion policies all across the entire federal government. And
This is one of my most favorite topic, and it's something that I really need to talk about. This DEI, people don't realize how dangerous it is. It is actually one of the most dangerous things for black people. Very dangerous. Because of DEI, whenever a black person does something, no matter how talented they are, no matter how real it is, no matter how hard working they are or how hard they worked for it, it's always nowadays attributed to DEI. Because essentially, what that DEI promotes is that, oh, you're here because you're black. Everyone starts thinking that because of you giving preferential treatment. And that's crazy. It's just like you're in a class and some people, they're going to pass anyway. When you pass the next year, you don't know whether they passed truthfully or whether they were actually smart, or maybe because of their dad is the teacher and they just promoted them. So DI is similar to that. You see, okay, for example, Ben Carson. Ben Carson is a brilliant man. He's a politician. He's a Republican, and he would have been a good choice also for VP. But if you choose Ben Carson, everyone will cry DEI. Oh, Trump is trying to appeal to. So that DEI stuff really, 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 really spoiled the black image. Because anything now that you see a black person is almost like, oh, it's DEI. It doesn't matter if they're actually one of the best in it, except it's physical sport. But anything that has to do with intellectual things is almost like, oh, because people don't respect intellectuals anymore. Science has really disappointed us with COVID and some vaccines. I won't say all. But DEI is dangerous, and I want us to get rid of it so that whenever a black person does something, it won't be as if it's just because of their color. It's crazy. I really don't want that to be the case. So DEI, it's time for you to go. It's time for you to die.
And indeed the private sector and our military.
Ilhan Omar.
And our country.
This lady, I heard she got married to her brother for citizenship. Well, people do stupid things when they feel like they don't have any other options. But if she would have waited a little bit with the kind of power she has now, I believe she would have found other ways to get her brother into the country. Because after all, the Democrats ushered in millions of people. So what's one more person? But she had to go do what they call it, immigration fraud. I'm not in support of that, and I'm surprised that being a Muslim, she supports a lot of agendas that the Democratic Party is trying to push. I've always been surprised about that because, well,
will be woke no longer. We believe that whether you are a doctor, an accountant, a lawyer, or an air traffic controller, you should be hired and promoted based.
This is the most common sense stuff I've ever heard. What is so difficult to understand? Air traffic controller, doctor. Why should someone have a position just because of a particular sex or a particular ideology or a particular skin color? Just like the wildfires in LA that the fire women were saying, why would I have to carry you out of a burning fire? If you got yourself in a burning fire, well, it says something about it's just similar, because why would you want an unqualified person in the post? That lady just showed us why you wouldn't want that. There are more graceful ways to say that, oh, I may not be able to carry everyone, but I will try and I will call for help, and probably a couple people will end up helping out and will be able to carry whoever needs help. There are more graceful ways to say it. And probably that's why she got the backlash she got. But still, why would anyone want DEI in places like hospitals, airports? Why would anyone suggest for DEI for jobs like that that require meticulous intelligence?
Based on skill and competence, not race or gender. Very important. You should be hired based on merit. And the Supreme Court, in a brave and very powerful decision, has allowed us to do so. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. We have removed the poison of critical race theory from our public schools, and I signed an order making it the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male